He definitely wants what he wants.
Why do you say that?
I want what I want. 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 Told you, he wants what he wants. Did they still do knife handling skills in boot camp when you were there?
No.
No need to teach you how to stab a
The
motherfucker?
new GoDaddy Arrow has AI marketing tools to help small
Nope.
Have you heard this
hundreds
ad?
of customers. It writes sweet social ads and email marketing.
Have you heard this ad?
Great. The new GoDaddy Arrow has AI marketing tools to help.
Have you heard that?
Mm-mm.
You know what it sounds like?
It sounds like something familiar.
I would not be surprised if they hired this guy.
Wow, there's a gamer girl in my lobby.
Stop.
Should I tell her how I feel about her?
Please don't. No. Please don't.
No, because then she'll know I'm a simp.
Refrain.
I know what I'll do. Wow, there's a gamer girl in my lobby.
Stop.
Should I tell her how I feel about her?
He did a bunch of them. Then he was doing them. They're like, "You sound like a guy trying to be on TikTok." It was actually him.
Well.
What's up, gents?
Chicken's ass when it eats.
Wow, I don't mean to be a bugaboo, but is there any chance
A
you could put your sister on the
bugaboo?
mic? I'd love to talk to her.
Yeah, I can put my sister on. Like, hey, look at my sister. Hey, sis, come here. Hold on, she's about to get on.
Oh, wow, I hear her stomping down the hall. She sounds heavy. Yeah, I hear her coming. She sounds like my type.
Yeah, she's like 350. 350?
Wow, 350?
Yeah, you hear?
I'm not 350, so sorry.
Yeah, it didn't sound like you were. That's a little disappointing, I'm not gonna lie. I heard this girl stomping up and down the halls like a Clydesdale and I got excited. She must live in a mobile home. Those floors don't sound secure. All I really need to know is, do you like anime?
No, not at all.
That's pretty f***ing funny.
Wow.
I hope she likes my podcast.
Digital 410 Productions proudly presents the What's in Your Head podcast.
Digitized live from the
Your company name here.
studios in Cape Coral, Florida. It's the What's in Your Head podcast.
What's up? What's up? What's up? OG5. Okay, who's the asshole who keeps forgetting to pay the electric bill around here? First it's like 40 every night, then it's 50, now it's 70 for the last 2 days, and now it's going to be like 38 and a half when we wake up tomorrow morning. Apparently
yeah,
fucking Ron
son.
DeSantis can't pay that goddamn that weather bill on time.
That's right. That's right.
So apparently,
Apparently,
wow, there's gamer girls.
wow, there's a Morgan Long in our podcast.
Oh, he's long.
I'm letting my team down.
So I was just like minding my own business today, and I see this article which makes no goddamn sense because you know the elections have just happened. I mean, you know, if you're gonna have a gamer girl present a bill, you figured have it before the big game. Wow. Dateline, just to show that I'm not crazy. Updated 7:35 p.m. December 10th, so a day ago.
There you go.
Naples, Florida. State representative, easy for you to say, Joel Rudman. Yeah, sounds like somebody from Naples, Mr. Rudman. Filed a bill Monday aiming to loosen gun restrictions, calling for open carry permit. Open carry protection under the Second Amendment. Currently, Florida allows concealed carry where firearms must be hidden from view. Eric Coffey, manager of Naples Guns and Ammo, a former member of the National Guard, explains the difference. Do we really need to explain the difference between the concealed carry and open carry?
It's in the
fucking name. It's a little on the nose, fellas. Let's see what this fucking fucking scholar says. A concealed carry means it's on you, but the person looking at you can't see it. It's almost like this word.
I was concealed carrying last
Hidden
night.
carry? No, that doesn't sound right. Slightly skewed carry? No. Yes, concealed carry, that's what that means. You can't see it. Sometimes it means it's in a pocket,
Somewhat
in a
visible.
pack, in a handbag, in a box, with a fox, in a can, Sam I am. But you ready for this? You ready? But with open carry. Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? The firearm is visible. Yay! It's almost yay.
Yeah.
So for example, if wearing it on my hip, you dip, I dip, I would normally have my shirt over the gun like this. My shirt comes up and the gun is visible.
Firearm.
It's now a violation of the concealed carry. But now I can walk around with a gun showing it out in the open in this carry solution. They don't go into the fact that in Florida you can open carry while going fishing, coming home from fishing, and actively fishing and all kinds of fishing.
And camping.
First
Camping too, eh?
First
I would
off,
imagine hunting is part of that pact.
I hope this passes for one reason and one reason only. Just so I don't have to see any more of these videos of these fucking assholes.
Oh my god!
I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the open carry. Wow! I can use the open carry fisher thing. So what I'm going to do to get content is I'm going to go to Miami Beach and fish with an AR-15 slung over my shoulder. Wow! And then be surprised when the cops show up and ask, "Hey, stupid, why do you got an AR-15 slung over your shoulder?" And I say, "Well, I can because I'm fishing."
Yeah.
There's called a spirit of the law and the letter of the law. Yes,
Here's a question.
dipshit. You can go fishing with a semi-automatic Browning automatic rifle over your fucking shoulder. Does it mean I want to stand on a kayak with a fucking 13-pound rifle slung over my shoulder? No. It means that I want to have my Glock in my back pocket and not have my shirt wrapped around it so that if I get pulled in by an alligator or molested by a Florida man, I have clear access to my firearm. Not because you're an asshole and you just want to get some content likes on TikTok and YouTube because you got 14 cops who don't know the law standing around you with your fucking AR-15 slung, waiting until the Florida Fish and Wildlife to show up and tell the boys how it's really done. It's like, come on, dude. I understand you're desperate for content, but assholes like you make assholes like us have a harder time getting fucking firearms because you want to fucking walk around goddamn Tampa Bay with a fucking fishing rod, a net, and a fucking saw mounted over your shoulder.
Here's a question. If the state decided to pass open carry in any situation, obviously other than federal buildings and stuff like that.
Oh, motherfucker, I'm getting me an
would you
all-leather
still-
Miami holster. I'm going to look like goddamn Leatherface.
I was going to say, would you still conceal or would you let it go open?
I would probably still use my conceal, but not worry about making sure I can't wear my fucking, my AR-15 shirt that looks like an AR-15 shirt that looks like an A&W root beer because I've had it for 6 years and it shrunk an inch and a half. Not because I got fat, but because it shrunk an inch and a half. And now when I'm at Publix getting the fucking Diet Coke off the bottom shelf, I either have to curtsy like a little girl in a Sunday dress. Otherwise, my fucking shirt pulls up and somebody can see my fucking.
She look cute as hell.
See
Doing it
the
too.
goddamn.
Yeah, you do. You
See the
beautiful little
fucking.
bitch.
See the handle on my Glock. Actually, that happened. During Hurricane, when I worked at Stan Haney, the one, Irma, I was at Lowe's trying to find a fucking masonry bit so I can drill some for somebody else. Help drill put up some fucking. I was crouched down, guys. Guy behind me was in a wheelchair. He's like, "Yeah, your gun's showing." And
your gun's showing.
And some people say, "Well, it's not." That's not illegal. Depends on the day, the asshole cop that shows up, and the asshole who called the cops, and how big of a goddamn scene. Because the way it was explained to me, if someone can describe what your firearm looks like, it's considered brandishing. But where do you guys stand? Do you want open carry? Or are you still down for concealed carry, or do you think we shouldn't carry anything but our billfolds and our pride?
I'm down for concealed. I think I mean, I think if you're openly carrying, a lot less assholes would be assholes.
Where do you stand on this
See-
theory that people have that if we all have open carry, the crazies are going to get bravado and try to wrestle your gun out of your holster, and all of a sudden that's going to be, oh, I'm going to take this guy's gun and rob him.
Well, yeah, I think also if you're smart, you're going to have your firearm banded somehow into your holster if you're open carrying.
Well, that's that was going to be the caveat I was going to say. They make those Kydex with like the index finger button where you got to push the button because it locks it locks, it grabs onto the trigger ring from the inside.
I don't have a very popular firearm, so I don't get those kinds of.
Wow, he's got
Special.
firearm envy.
I don't have those kind of special holsters and stuff like that work for mine.
He
but-
probably has a high point.
No, I have a Keltec.
You're trying to tell me there's not a goddamn Kydex holster with a button for a Keltec?
Is there one out there?
I guarantee it, dude. If they got one for a Taurus
Oh, dude,
Judge,
are
I
you
can guarantee
kidding?
a
Keltec, probably, yeah.
That's a
So
that's a bigger
That's a Florida
brand.
brand right there.
They're
too.
a well-known brand. I thought you were going to say something like fucking. Oh, I got a Charlotte County Hoover.
So I found out the other day that I currently reside in an open carry state.
Sweet.
So
Why aren't you? Where's your
well,
fucking
you know,
holster at?
it's it's kind of interesting when you're walking through the Dollar Tree.
Dude,
and
you could
bump
go
into a
full
dude
Don
with a,
Johnson right now.
Yeah.
You can have on the
What's
80s.
that?
You could be full Don Johnson
Oh,
right
yeah,
now. You can get the
yeah.
fucking open
With the-
Hawaiian
with the
shirt, the
shoulder
leather
holster,
Miami holsters.
yeah.
That's what they call those, by the way. Those are called Miami holsters.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Didn't Vice make them really popular or some shit?
Oh yeah.
A lot of the old mobster movies
Or the-
did too.
or the gangsters
The
and shit like
detectives
that,
will
yeah.
always have them on.
Yeah.
They always have the
yeah.
Under the
1911
According to
in
my
there.
grandma, it's a place to keep your gat. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm walking through the Dollar Tree the other day, bump into this dude. He's got a nice Kimber 1911 on his hip, and I'm like, okay, just because you can doesn't mean you should. I personally think that some people have the same the same desire as the guys that want to go fishing in Miami with an AR.
Yeah.
Say, it's look at me. Say, I carry because I want to protect myself.
Yeah.
I don't need to make an issue out of it.
Show off.
I don't need anybody to know because that's just my little secret if things break bad.
Yeah.
My little secret is the fact that I wear women's underwear.
I remember.
Well, I'm sure everybody knows that when you curtsy like a little girl in a fucking Lowe's trying to
Hey, you
find
gotta do what you gotta do when you got a big block in your waistland.
His in waistband is clipped to his G-string.
What do you think about what do you feel about guys who wear like the big fucking knives on their belts?
The fucking booney knife and shit. Yeah. There are some
I don't know, it
rednecks
depends
around
on
here.
the situation.
Yeah, there are some redneck fucking gator boys around here that will holster a fucking booney knife on them. I mean, more power to them, but I mean, if you're walking around Walmart shopping, get a fucking
you never
Gerber
know,
like
you
the
might
rest
need
of
to
us
cut
or
a
something.
fool.
I mean, just excessive.
Hey,
Excessive.
I can,
mean,
say,
if you're gonna carry
I
a
can
knife,
open a
carry
lot of
pocket knife.
boxes with a K-bar.
But I mean, if you're gonna carry a knife, I mean, even if you don't want to carry a foldable or something like that, okay, fine, carry something small, or get really crazy, and you can go to that not our sponsor, but the guys at
1791.
No, 1791.
1791, and you can get one of those freaking utility belts, and you can carry a little, straight stick in there or something like that, and you'll be good to go. It doesn't need to be 19 inches long. I mean, you're not gutting a fucking antelope.
Never know. Never know what the day might bring.
I think weapons like that are excessive. I think it's for show. I think it's dudes trying to show off, how big their balls are and how small their dick is. That's just my opinion about it.
So is it an extension, just like driving a jacked up truck
Yes.
with 40s on it?
Yeah.
It depends if
Yeah,
your
I
40s
mean-
have mud boggers on them or if they got rubber band tires. Because if they got rubber band
Exactly.
tires, then it's just a trailer queen anyhow.
There are guys out there that are still rocking 15-inch wheels with fucking 38-inch tires that are, 15 inches wide that actually take it down the trail, or they take their airboat down the fucking dirt road and shit like that. And they need the 4-wheel drive and they need the big tires. Those guys are respectable guys. They're also not show-offy assholes either. So their trucks are usually pieces of shit.
Well, yeah,
And
I mean,
anyway,
trust me,
so-
I know.
Yeah, I like the guy with the Cummins diesel. And it was Rolling Coal's dumb enough, but then when they put like the Folgers coffee can on their exhaust pipe, it's like,
5-gallon loads,
Yeah,
bucket
it's like-
sticking off the end of the exhaust.
What was it? Whistling Diesel or whoever put a fucking garbage can on his exhaust? Or
I
some
stopped
sort of-
watching
It was like
him.
it was like one of those old tin or aluminum garbage cans he put on there.
I stopped watching Whistling Diesel when he got so much money that every video is just him destroying expensive shit. It's
That
like,
was the one of the videos that I commented on was when he had
the square body
cat
Chevy.
eye. No, I don't know if it was a square body or if it was a cat eye Silverado. It might have been a square body. It was red.
Yeah, at the
Bright,
gas station with the
fiery
ratchet
red.
strap.
And he was just destroying it.
Did you see the one where he had
Destroying it.
he had this old square body
Yeah.
and he did I accidentally attached my ratchet straps to my wheels.
Oh, I think you
And it
sent that
fucking
to us.
tore
yeah.
the entire bed in half.
Yeah.
It's like you're just destroying
And those
shit for the sake of
trucks
destroying shit.
nowadays, I mean, old school square body Fords, Chevys, Dodge, it doesn't matter. That 70s to 80 body style of pickup trucks, they went through the roof. When I was 16, 17 years old, whenever the hell it was I got my license, $1,500 I had one. It was sitting up on the corner.
Okay.
Now they want 10 grand.
Now we've talked about the
So-
minor things such as open carry and destroying perfectly good vehicles. We really need to get down to brass tacks and solve some cultural problems and societal problems.
Oh boy.
Can we get
No.
tipping under fucking control?
Tipping?
Tipping.
No.
Just the tip.
It's not going to get any better, and you know that.
I'm starting to fall in line with the new tipping scenario, the rule of I'm not tipping if I'm standing up. That's
Yeah.
the new thing. But the whole purpose of a tip back in my day, wow, it's a waitress.
Wow.
It was supposed to be, hey,
Or waitress.
you get paid shit. You're making $2.25 an hour. And if you do a good job, you can make tips. And if you do a bunch of good jobs, you can walk out of here with some real fucking money each night.
You want to know what this is?
It's the
It's the world's smallest violin
and
playing for all the
just
waitresses
you.
in America.
But somehow it's now become you're supposed to supplement my income. And
yeah.
once
Well, when
again,
it became a demand rather than a request,
when
that's when I started having trouble.
when Burger King drive-through starts to set out tip cups, we've jumped the fucking shark because you guys are getting paid full freight on your minimum wage.
Well, and here's the weird part because when I worked at McDonald's when I was like in my early
Back when we had
actually late
decorum, they
teens,
said no tips.
no tips.
Yes.
You were not allowed to accept any extra money. You were allowed to accept whatever was the amount that was required
Because you weren't a waitress, because you
And you had
made
to give
full
change.
minimum wage.
Exactly.
Somehow we went from only, bartenders and waitresses and, cocktail waitresses at nightclubs to
Everybody.
I think where it really started, is when Starbucks. I think the transition into the coffee shop,
Yeah.
where the waiters were no longer waiting on you. It's one thing, once again, you go to a busy coffee shop, you go sit down, they bring you your scone and your coffee, and you sit at a table for 15 minutes, and then you throw $2 on the table, and Bob's your uncle. And then
You can't even do that anymore.
then it transitioned to Starbucks. You wait in line. They used to be super fast. And then you give them a tip because, holy shit, you made that in 38 seconds. Now with the new kids, it's like 15 fucking minutes.
Or more. I sat in Starbucks for an hour one time.
We went to Kiki's on Sunday,
That's a good place.
usually. And I knew it was going to hurt.
Good food. I'll say that.
I knew it was going to hurt. I knew it wasn't going to be cheap. It's never cheap. Have you ever been to Kiki's, Morgan? Clearly Mike has.
I have not, but I've heard of it.
Okay. Put on your thinking beanie.
Is there one over by you too?
Yeah. I was
Oh,
just
okay.
there on Sunday. I actually been there quite a few times, but I don't know after Sunday.
Gotcha.
Morgan, let's see you, your wife, and some random stranger. Because you need 3 people for this story, and you know, you and your wife don't have any friends. So you, your wife, and some
Mike, know
random
you some,
stranger decide to go have breakfast at Kiki's. You order 1 pancake, 3 eggs, 2 pieces of bacon, a black coffee, and a Coke. Your wife orders 1 pancake, a side of home fries, and 3 pieces of bacon. And your daughter orders 1 pancake, orange juice, and 3 pieces of bacon. Assuming this food was hot and warm and you felt like you're getting value, how much would this breakfast at a not McDonald's, not an IHOP, but at a decent breakfast restaurant, what do you think? Essentially 3 pancakes, 9 pieces of bacon, some hash browns, and a fucking and 2 Cokes and a coffee would cost you.
$60.
Now imagine they bring out your pancake, your 2 eggs, which look fake, and your bacon. The reason your eggs look fake is because they're fucking ice cold. They hand your daughter's cold ass waffle or pancake, but she don't care. She eats pancakes without syrup, so that tells you her level of fucking gourmet tastiness.
Kind of animal.
And then they bring out your wife's bacon and hash browns. And then 8 minutes later, bring out her pancake, which is piping hot, but all the rest of your food's fucking cold. And so you make a comment about all the food being cold, and they bring you new eggs and potatoes, and then your kid's like, "I'll eat the cold ones." And you say, "Fuck it, I don't want wait on more pancakes." It's a tremendous waste of food. How much of a tip would you give on a $73 breakfast for 3 pancakes, 9 pieces of bacon, and fucking 5 eggs, a fucking black coffee, and 2 sodas? I don't want to sound like old guy fucking McGee, but when I think $72, I think fucking 2 decent steaks from goddamn Outback Steakhouse, not 3 pancakes, 6 eggs, and fucking
no kidding,
and goddamn 9 pieces of bacon. But how much would you tip on $72 worth of cold pancakes?
I don't know. I'd be hard pressed to tip very much at all because
back in the
like
90s, you fucking
terrible.
wouldn't. Back in the 90s, you'd like, sorry, dude, you fucked up. And then Nosy McGee would lean over. Well, you know, sir, it wasn't his fault. May not been, but when you don't get a tip, guess what? That happens enough. You go back in the back and you scream at the expediter, or you scream at the chefs and say, "Hey, fucktards, you guys just got me a $0 tip on a $72 bill."
That doesn't happen anymore.
I gave him $4, and I made the decree I was going to give him $4, which Carrie got embarrassed and tried to fix it, so she quickly made it $7, which she still feels is undercut, but I'm sorry, $4 on $73 for fucking 3 pancakes that can't even be warm is more than enough. But it's like we got to this point in society that you got to feel guilty for not tipping on. First and foremost, $72 for fucking bacon and eggs is fucking ridiculous.
Yes.
So
there's better been some goddamn gold-plated strawberries you put on my fucking pancake.
Yes.
Well, and the thing is, like I had my my Thanksgiving breakfast with my new family at the Waffle House, and
that was $4.38.
Yeah, it was $14, but I was there on Thanksgiving. You know, I got my double hash brown, double waffle.
Jeff Zito used to make fun of me because when I was losing weight, I'd go to Waffle House almost daily and either get the T-bone steak and eggs or pork chops and eggs. He said, "I didn't know they sold T-bone steaks at Waffle House." I'm like, "Yeah, they do. They're just cut a fucking half-inch thick, but
real thin."
But you can get a T-bone steak. You can get a T-bone steak, 3 eggs, hash browns, and a fucking soda for fucking $15.
Yeah. So, I got good service. Everybody was there on Thanksgiving serving me. So I tipped her $14.
There you go.
But My food was hot.
Mhm.
It was quick. You know, it's Waffle House. I mean, it's not the greatest, but you know what to expect whenever you go to, you know, whatever Waffle House.
Yeah, but at
It's
least your
always the
food was
same.
hot. You know, the whole
see,
the
yeah,
whole
it was
point of
awesome.
charging people $72 for fucking waffles and eggs is supposed to be the experience and the ambiance, which we did not
Yeah,
get.
exactly.
See, and it's you would expect the places that, you know, charge lower amounts would be shittier service and you know, shittier quality of food. I mean, the food's probably not that great. It's certainly not that great for you, but you can watch it get made right in front of you. So you know,
Which is a blessing and a curse.
right? But you know, there's no fuckery going on at least.
And they also got that
Yeah.
damn code they got to sort out.
Right. But, you know, if you know, a higher end place and, you know, they've got, you know, where they're charging you, like he said, like $78 or something like that for practically nothing. And it was all fucking cold.
Mm-hmm.
And it's supposed to be like this, you know, casual sit down breakfast joint. And then you go into Waffle House, it's $15 and it's fucking hot and ready within fucking 10 minutes.
We got
And
this.
everybody's friendly and, you
Right.
know, they might
Southern
or might
hospitality.
not have ankle monitors, but, you know, whatever.
We got this veggie chopper thing that we got the idea off of TikTok, and it's kind of like a mandolin. It's got grids. You peel potatoes, you put it in there, plonk. Carrie and I make fucking awesome home fries. The only reason we went there is we were like trying to stop on the way somewhere else, and like Carrie says, like we make better home fries than this. We can perfectly make these pancakes. What the fuck are we doing spending $72 on this when we could have made this at home
Yeah.
for $15?
And you could have enjoyed the experience more likely, you know, with your family making it together.
Your service would have been better.
Certainly.
Yeah. Trying to hold on here to trying to
Well,
find this video.
Maybe his service would have been better.
Yeah, perhaps. Maybe.
Yeah, well, you never know.
His house blows up once a week, so
Yes.
Well, yeah, that happens.
yeah.
Oh. Here's my
Just wait, it's
Here's
coming,
one
Mike.
me and Gordon-
We've all been through it.
well, me and Gordon went to Waffle House in
It's-
Kentucky
It's beginning.
during my mom's surgery.
So my brother and I were just at a Waffle House in Florence, Kentucky, and I won't talk about the other crazy shit we've seen. I just got a question for you guys. Our server had on a pair of Crocs. It's not the problem.
I can't really
He
hear
had
it.
on one sock,
You hear
meaning
now?
that you could see his naked heel on one foot. So my brother and I were just at a Waffle House in Florence, Kentucky, and I won't talk about the other crazy shit we've seen. I just got a question for you guys. Our server had on a pair of Crocs. It's not the problem. He had on one sock, meaning that you could see his naked heel on one foot and then a sock on the other. And we're trying to figure out, how does someone go around all day wearing one sock? And Gordon asked, did he lose a sock or did he put one on? And I'm thinking, well, even if he had a condition with the one foot, maybe he had a cut, it was wearing real funny, the shoe was affecting his cut, his boil, his corn, whatever. Why wouldn't you just put on two socks to balance out your body? I'm the type of person, I can't even, when I do my World War II reenacting and I'm doing my 82nd Airborne, if I put something in my right cargo pocket, I have to put the same amount of shit in my left cargo pocket. What type of person are you? Could you get away with wearing one sock with your Crocs all day? Or subconsciously would your body be freaking out like, why am I uneven? How does someone do an 8-hour, 12-hour shift with one sock in their Crocs? Fucking weird.
His naked
No,
heel.
it's two or none.
And of course, this being internet, my favorite comment, what kind of person are you that you would let something like that bother you so much that you had to do a video on it? What a freak.
What a freak. Ooh.
You know what the worst part was? And you can't blame this guy because it's a condition. The cook had on the visor, not the full ball cap. He had on a visor. The reason he had on a visor, not a full ball cap, is he had some sort of growth on his head. He literally had something the size of a hair-covered orange hanging off the back of his nugget, right over top of the band. And instead of him growing his hair out so you can't see said fucking second head growing on the back of his nugget, he had like a number 3 buzz cut. So I got this guy with like his conjoined twin hanging off his back, his head. I got the guy with the one sock Croc sliding around. There's food all over the floor. all kinds of You know, they say like the morning / mid-afternoon strippers are like the C crew. You know, they're too ugly to fucking dance at night when the real money's there, but you know, they got to have somebody fill that position. This was like the fucking W crew of Waffle House. I mean, it was just, and I have eaten at a lot of Waffle House across this great land of ours, and I have my expectations set perfectly at the Waffle House level. And Gordon and I looked at each other and said, if this would have been our first Waffle House experience, we would have never, ever stepped a single sock crock in one ever again. It was the Barnum and Bailey sideshow freak show of Waffle Houses. And this wasn't even the one in Richwood, Kentucky. This is one in fucking Florence that is so big and so over. Florence has turned into like, take Estero and Naples and crush them together. Because so many people work in Cincinnati now with the tech trade and all the IT boom that like people need a place to live, and it's all northern Kentucky. Like if you guys, I don't know if you ever look, but if you're like when you order our shirts, if you get a lot of Dollar Shave Club, a lot of the internet based stuff all comes out of Florence, Erlanger, Walton, and Hebron, Kentucky, which would be like that shit coming out of Naples, Estero, Buckingham, Cape Coral, and Fort Myers, because 3 major interstates come through that area. It's a huge distribution hub. So these guys are working like a noon shift at a super busy Waffle House, and it was just like, what the fuck did we just witness? It was the craziest shit I've ever
Waffle
seen.
House.
Uh,
It was Waffle House in spirit only. I'll tell you that.
we had this place up in Murphy called Waffle King, and there's only like 4 locations. I think there's 2 or 3 of them in Georgia and 1 in North Carolina or something like that. That place is actually, it was based exactly on Waffle House, but it's called Royal Waffle King.
Yep.
They just call it Waffle King.
Royal Waffle King.
And honestly, their food I think is better. The atmosphere is exactly the same. They cook all their food and everything like that in front of you on the grill.
But isn't Royal Waffle King redundant? Do we need the Royal or do we need the King? It means the same thing, right? Royal and King.
I suppose.
It's a little redundant. I'm trying to get the history, see who opened up first. Well, Royal Waffle King is so small that they don't even have a Wikipedia page.
Yeah. It's.
What
I
about
think it's like
Huddle
a
House? You ever eaten at one of those?
I think it's like a family-owned type place. A what?
Huddle House?
Yeah, Huddle House.
Yeah. I haven't been to one of those in years.
Royal Waffle King founder and president Charlie Crowder, that name sounds familiar, served as vice president of real estate development for the Huddle House, Inc., where he oversaw site selection, construction, and development for more than 250 locations in 1986. Crowder said, fuck this, and left Huddle House for Royal Waffle King Corporation since its foundation.
On the About Me page.
Royal Waffle King now has 7 locations serving up smiles all across Georgia, Alabama, Kentucky, and North Carolina. At Royal Waffle King, we strive to tell motherfuckers that we're going to provide them with convenience, high-quality service centered around delicious comfort and a lack of waiters wearing 1 Croc socks.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is the Royal Waffle King.
I think you just found your new calling, Don.
Writing copy for About Us
PR
pages.
For...
That's funny.
Uh,
You ever been to Bojangles?
Hey, you
yes,
can't say that
they
name
have
nowadays.
Awesome biscuits.
I think they had to change their name. I think they had to change their name.
Did they?
Yeah.
That would
Bojangles
suck.
is a
Bojangles?
menstrual term.
You got one up there in Mississippi?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they were being pressured. August 30th, 2020, the company released a statement saying it was dropping the apostrophe from the name. On the same day, Bojangles released a video announcing the partnership with Dale Earnhardt Jr., the first celebrity to say the words, "It's Bow time." Okay, so Bojangles released a statement and said, fuck you, we're not changing our name. But no, I've never been there. What do they serve?
It's like Popeyes kind of stuff, chicken and biscuits. And
Oh, I do see some of them are rebranding to Bows. They just say Bow on the front. Oh, no, they got Bojangles on the side. So they say Bow on one side and Jangles on the other. Because they're named after Mr. Bojangles.
Speaking of which, do you know we now have, I believe, we now have a Del Taco
Yeah.
in Southwest.
Port Charlotte, I heard.
Free Shavakadu for all. It's
But
gonna be awesome.
that place is garbage. That's like getting excited for...
I've never been there, so...
That's like getting excited for a Dollar Tree.
Really?
Yeah. It's,
that bad?
Dude, it's not good. Taco Bell is closer to a cuisine than fucking Del Taco.
Well, see, you guys have lived on the west coast of America. I never have, so I can't say I've ever been to Del Taco or any of those other fucking west coast places.
When I was in high school, we had a place up the street. It was called Hot and Now, which was another west coast thing. 19-cent hamburgers, 29-cent cheeseburgers, fries were ridiculous, but it's not good, but it's cheap because you can have good, you can have cheap, but you can't have good and cheap.
Here's all you need to know: they have hot dogs and tacos on the same menu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now that we've cured two of public's problems and we're getting society straightened out, no tips while standing up. And I'm not going to tip you on a fucking $72 worth of cold fucking waffles.
What's the other one?
No tips at Del Taco.
Burger or something? What's that? What's that burger joint that's out on the West Coast? Burger.
Oh, In-N-Out.
Is it In-N-Out?
Well, you have In-N-Out. You got Jack in the Crack. Jack in the Crack's not very good either. Jack in the Box.
I've never had that.
You ain't missing nothing.
Yeah. Except for the little antenna toppers, there's really no reason to go there.
I think we talked about that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
What was it? There was this place that I used to go to. It was very similar to, what was it? What's that place that closes on Sunday? Chicken Spot.
Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A.
Jesus Chicken?
Huh?
Jesus Chicken?
No. There was a place similar to it. I forget what it was called, but they had pretty good shit.
Devil's Turkey.
Devil's Turkey.
How are we going to nip the...
Crystals.
What?
Was it Crystal? Crystals had burgers. Never mind. They didn't have chicken.
Crystals is a White Castle's knockoff. Those dickheads put mustard on their fucking sliders.
My bad.
How are we going to nip this whole people's inability to fucking determine? I mean, I get it 5 years from now when the technology advances, but right now everything looks like a goddamn cartoon. What are we going to do with these dipshits who cannot determine AI-generated content? I mean, we've discussed this before. Oh my God, there's a guy with a 12-foot chicken. You can tell it's AI-generated just by looking at it. Oh, did you guys see
that the video that you sent?
I've sent a few of them. There was one going around. It's these fucking people in Antarctica with this cute little fucking baby polar bear named. I was like, it looks like a fucking Disney. It's a fucking AI generated.
Yeah.
But people are so dumb. That legitimate news sources had to do stories assuring people that a multi-billion-dollar company that serves up hamburgers doesn't endorse murder. Oh my God, did you guys see the TikTok from Burger King or the tweet from Burger King that says we don't snitch, and then they put up a picture of a waffle? It has to be real. It says Burger King on the blue check. Really? You saw that after the killer gets arrested at McDonald's. You see a post from Burger King with a fucking blue check mark saying we don't snitch, and you think it's real? To the point where Forbes, Newsweek, Fox News have to put out headlines such as "We don't snitch," the fake Burger King post. People actually thought that was real, and that's minor. The fact that you look and say, "Wow, Burger King they're on it, dude." And by the way, even if that was the 19-year-old who runs the Burger King fucking Twitter channel, and that was a real post, 20 minutes later, there'd be a news release from Burger King saying, we don't endorse murder. That dickhead's been fired. The fact that people, this went for days, Burger King's on it, man. I got to go to Burger King. They're happy the CEO got killed, and they're not going to snitch. This is just the beginning.
Get stitches, man.
This is just the beginning, and wind up in ditches. This is just the beginning.
Well, and I don't remember where I saw it, but actually I think it was on X. I was scrolling through on there and I saw something about there's a page that I follow. It's libs of something, TikTok or something like I don't remember, but just following them and watching their stuff and they posted something. Somebody commented on one of their TikTok videos that said somebody needs to CEO these guys or something like that, and I was like,
oh jeez,
what the fuck?
I saw TikTok.
Are you fucking serious? Like, how fucking these kids that come up with these fucking, because they're not saying anything, but they're saying something.
Oh, dude straight up came out, put up TikTok today. It was like from fucking Ukraine, not Ukraine, but like fucking I don't know, one of those countries with like 70% tax rates, like fucking Holland or somewhere. Had the dude's picture and then like a list of grievances, like saying, like Mike said, I'm not saying, but here's the next on our list. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah. People are keyboard warriors. They'll fucking, when they have their anonymity and stuff like that, they'll say whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
Anemone.
Anonymity. So, I haven't been quite feeling it today prior to coming on the show and listening. Wow, that really raised my spirits. But I was down in the doldrums today, a little down in the dumps, just dealing.
Feeling a little melancholy.
And the infinite sorrow. And so I was standing in the cold food section doing my best Billy Corgan impression at Publix tonight. And this gentleman in a mechanic shirt's talking to his daughter, and I had on my black WTSP hat, just said WTSP. And I hear him say something like, what's the scuttlebutt? So I'm looking at reflection, I'm like, my hat say what's the scuttlebutt? I don't think it does. I think it says your favorite World War II podcast, and and then they walk off, and I turn around, and I'm heading up the other aisle, and he comes around, he's like, that is you. He said, I saw my daughter, I saw you. And I said, what's the scuttlebutt? And I said, no, nice to meet you, but sorry, dude, that our interaction wasn't the most jovial. I told him, I said, dude, I'm just having one of those fucking days. I'm out of it. Sorry we didn't sit there and have a nice 10-minute fucking meet and greet, but I was just not feeling it. I was like, oh, when you're just,
I've always had a question for you. How often do you get stopped?
Now, a lot less than than
back then.
When I was on the radio, especially like when me and Dave would go next to Walmart, I would, D-Train, and then Dave would also be like, man, you should see the way the girls look. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? The way the girls look. I can't do nothing with that. I'm in a relation. I don't pay attention. But no, it would be cool. Like when Katie, my biological daughter, lived with us. We'd go out. She would get a kick out of her. When we adopted Sariana and we'd go out and people would do that, we'd get a kick out of it. Because of the whole joke when I was on, at computers on Del Prado next to the Circle K with no gas pumps. So people knew what that meant. So there'd be times I'd be walking across that little thoroughfare to get people drive by, D-Train. They would recognize me. But it happens less now. It's usually someone in our age group. They'll either the crazy thing was the last time I got recognized wasn't from TikTok. It wasn't from radio. I was at a World War II event. It wasn't even from my podcast. The dude recognized, and I think I told you this. I was at the SS camp, sitting on the ground, and they pulled out the schnapps, and I had my Larceny drinking out of my canteen cup with some Coke, and I was smoking Lucky Strikes. Yeah. And I stood up, and they offered me a shot. One of the Germans in his SS uniform, he said, don't you got a YouTube channel? And so I was clearly thinking, what's the scuttlebutt of the World War II pod? I was like, yeah. He's like, don't you run? It's like, yeah. He's like, why the fuck are you
Forrest Gump
smoking?
looking ass.
He's like, why are you smoking? I said because I've gotten to the point where I can come here, smoke 2 packs of Lucky Strikes, wake up on Monday and not pick one up, which I haven't. I haven't picked one up since November 3rd, whenever the fuck VKE is. I've just gotten to that point where I can smoke a pack of Lucky Strikes, or if the mood hits me. You guys have been fishing with me. Have you seen me smoke when we were fishing?
No.
Mike used to, because I would smoke when I fish. I used to go out on a kayak, burn a few butts while I was fishing. Monday roll around, but then I got to fishing more and more. I said, well, this shit's got to stop, so I just stopped smoking. You guys have gone fishing with me 5 times the last 3 months. I don't smoke. So I have the ability, it's not a thing for me, It kind of sounds like a dick, but, how do you stop smoking? Stop buying them. You can't smoke what you don't have, right?
That's ultimately,
how do you stop drinking? You stop buying them. Mike was vaping. How do you stop vaping? Don't buy them.
Yeah, I quit vaping at the beginning of this year.
Yeah, when you got married.
Couple weeks. Yeah, it was a couple weeks, I think. I don't remember if it was after I got married or...
No, it was prior, because you were trying to quit at the Bachelor Extravaganza, and then
that's right.
And since I was fishing and drinking and smoking, so yeah, because I think I was smoking at the Titty Bar. I can't remember.
Well, Dickface was smoking, so and he was smoking at my wedding.
Yeah,
so
I was too, and
I ball tapped him because he's not supposed to be smoking. But anyway, yeah. So I quit smoking in the beginning. Well, I quit vaping at the beginning of the year, but I vaped for like 3 years. And when I was at my previous company, I was sitting in my work truck one day, and I was like, I quit smoking cigarettes January 1st of 2021, I think. And then I quit vaping at the beginning of this year.
You dabbled once or twice, not the 3 in a bus, because I think when you and I went out kayaking, you might bum 1 or 2 off me when I was smoking.
I think I might have dabbled here and there, but it wasn't like anything. Like I wasn't buying anything. I was strictly trying to vape as much as possible in the beginning, and then once I kind of got to that point, I was like, all right, I'll just vape, and I vaped and I vaped and I vaped and I vaped, and then I quit. And honestly, the first 2 weeks were the worst.
Yeah, it's because you're hacking up all that green shit, and then you're getting fucking
nicotine withdrawal. It's the constantly fidgeting and having something to do.
Yeah.
And I still get that urge every now and again, even almost a year later. I'll be sitting, after eat, especially because I was always the hardest. Because I've tried, I had quit before, and the hardest was always after I ate, because I wanted to smoke, and then. First thing in the morning with a cup of coffee, or sitting out on the front porch or something like that. That was always the worst. Or working on a truck, or, fishing, or drinking a beer, or, something. It was just any excuse. Right. Any excuse, basically. But there were certain situations where it was like, man, I really need a cigarette, and I would smoke. But honestly, it was the first 2 weeks to about a month that were really the worst of like, man, this fucking sucks. And gum was like my best friend but my enemy at the same time.
Yep, it's got
I
some sugar
fucking
in it.
hated it, but I needed something. And yeah, I haven't touched. I mean, I smoke cigars every now and again. I don't inhale them, but I puff on them. But I don't need them, and I don't like. It's not a requirement. You know what I mean? Like when I get done smoking a cigar, I might feel like. Maybe tomorrow I'll have one or something like that. But if I run out of cigars, if I buy 3 or 4 of them for a week, I may not buy them for another couple of weeks.
Yeah,
so it's not like I need one every day.
It happens less and less. Last one was from a YouTube video. I'm waiting for the day locally someone might recognize me from TikTok. But no, the radio thing's dying down a little bit. Obviously, somebody still follows us on Facebook, but yeah, it doesn't. I'd say maybe happens once every 2 or 3 months now. Once about 3 or 4 months now, but yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say something.
Speaking of TikTok, did you hear about the TikToker over in your neck of the woods that?
No, the chick who goes to Target and steals shit.
The old thiefy McGee over there.
I don't want to sound like the old guy, but Morgan's going to agree with me. That shit,
my gig.
That shit already happened. It was called Winona Ryder at Saks Fifth fucking Avenue. That chick was a millionaire, already done Beetlejuice, already done all these movies, and she goes and steals a fucking $500 purse from Saks Fifth Avenue in like 2001.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I made
Oh,
national
I was-
news. Why is a rich actress stealing a purse from Saks Fifth Avenue?
Sorry, fellas. I was 9. I wasn't watching the news.
He was watching SpongeBob.
What were the
right.
Rugrats doing? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Were Tommy and Chucky going to Saks? No.
Yeah.
No. Wow.
Wow.
So just
Yeah,
so that
that's-
I can make sure we're on the same page,
Yeah.
and I know I did a video earlier on this week, but it serves to be reset here. So let me get this straight. A woman is doing an impromptu interview on a Saturday night in Nashville with a content creator. Her drunk friend leans in and gives some advice and blows up all over the internet. She shows up at concerts, on stages. She's given her own podcast. She sells T-shirts. And then someone
I
says,
think
hey,
I know who we're talking about now.
hey, here's an
Gotta
idea.
spit on that thing.
You're so
That's right.
smart. You have such great relationship advice. Let's start up your own digital currency. And then you get all
Yeah,
these
I'm sure it
dipshit
is.
investors investing in your digital currency because you're such a perfect, smart person because you know how to spit on that thing because you probably grew up in a fucking trailer park. And then I'm supposed to feel sorry for the investors. I'm supposed to paint myself up as surprised when the Hawk Tuah girl and her crew essentially do what they refer to as a carpet pool on her fucking cryptocurrency, and all these people are out millions of dollars because they made out like Billy Joe and Bobby Sue. They fucking took that money and ran. And we're
they
supposed to
didn't
be
even
surprised.
Didn't
Like,
even get that thing spit on.
yeah, you got fucked, but not in the good way. It's like you're supposed to be investors. You're supposed to be stop investing in fucking social media people. Did we not learn anything from fucking Honey Boo Boo's parents turned out they were pedos? Did we not learn anything from the guy from Family Guns who ended up being a pedo who's in prison from the Discovery Channel? All these shows from TLC and Discovery that had to get wiped off and completely deleted from the face of the internet because their high-end production companies weren't smart enough to do full background checks. You're investing millions of dollars into a cryptocurrency based off of a chick who did nothing but get drunk and tell you how to slob a knob. And you're surprised that they weren't fucking people of high moral standing and business virtue? Come on. It was a social media catastrophe. Then the merchandising opportunity, and finally cryptocurrency. Wow. Now the social media sensation who lent her viral Hawk Tuah moment to a new digital coin is faced the latest controversy centered around crypto, and it has some are calling for the all too familiar racket meant to trick people out of their money. Influencer Haley Welch, who shot the internet stardom this year, thanks to a particularly viral interview clip, is pushing back against the accusations that Hawk, H-A-W-K, the cryptocurrency she helped launch this week, is a scam after its price plummeted. Welch said on X that she and the people behind the coin have not sold any of their holdings. Basically, the accusation is a bunch of people invested money, and then after they got all this money, they basically sold all their shares, and then the currency went to shit. So people who bought this coin are now
out a bunch of money.
Well, technically, yeah, they're out of real money because for some reason they thought it was a good idea to give real money to a girl who knows about blowjobs in exchange for make-believe money. It's make-believe money that is not backed by no banks, not backed by any systems. How is it that cryptocurrency is still around and outlived at least the fucking, what was that, the frangible token bullshit? At least that died a quick death. I'm surprised that crypto is surviving as long as it has.
Well, I think it's because we're in the age of tech and
it's the influencer's fault.
People want new. They're tired of the old, Don. They want the new. They want something to pop off. They want something that's happening.
Influencers need to learn that meme coins are not funny when they come to the expense of your fans. So it's the influencer's fault. It's not the
Of
smart,
course.
rich people who have money or the dumb people who have no money, but you decide to take the money they do have. Oh, I don't need to make my car payment. I'm going to buy a hot coin. Fucking really? Why don't just call it 2 girls, 1 cup coin?
Ooh,
That rolls off the tongue better than a hot coin.
I'd buy that.
I'd buy that for $1. I'd buy that for a crypto
For a hot
coin.
Cup coin.
Some pretty shitty currency.
Or one man, one jar.
In a world with 2 girls, 1 cup. Mike, you asked me a question about computers and gaming the other day, and I told you to save it for the show. And we're 3 episodes in. You
did.
still ain't bring that shit up.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about it.
So, Mike,
Would you like me to ask the question?
sure.
now? Hey, Don,
What's up?
you're an IT fella. Mm-hmm. You deal with servers and computers and and networking and stuff like that.
Yes.
In all your years of experience,
Yes.
how come you don't have a gaming PC and you're not happening with all the video games on the personal computer these days?
I'm glad you asked. No, all seriousness, I've been in IT and shit for 18 years. I've been building computers since 1999. The reason I didn't get into gaming on PCs is because motherfuckers are poor.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's not as bad. But in the early 2000s, computers, hardware was...
expensive.
Well, not expensive. They were expensive, but they were advancing at such an accelerated rate that you
That
would like,
too, yeah.
oh, the new Max Payne came out. Okay, I need 256 megs of RAM, 128 megabit video card and its processor. So let me go out, spend $70 on Max Payne, spend $70 on a new video card, and $120 on RAM and upgrade my system. You do that. Boop, boop, boop. 3 months later, wow, World of Warcraft came out. Oh, fuck. I need 512 megabytes of RAM, a 256 megabyte video card, and 50 gig hard drive. So let me pay $80 for this game, $200 for a video card, even though I just spent $150 6 months ago.
Yeah,
Buy another
and-
$200 worth of RAM. And
And by the way, the motherboard doesn't accept 512.
Yeah, and now you need a new motherboard and processor. And I
Right.
get it. The games want to use the highest end technology to make it look as great, but it's like,
Sure.
I can't afford to build a new computer every 6 months. And so when I finally did get back into gaming, I said, fuck it, I'll just buy an Xbox because at least I know I have 5 years, a minimum of 5 years on this hardware.
Yeah.
And then Carrie got into gaming, so 2 Xboxes is cheaper than constantly building 2 gaming computers. But
Right.
we have gotten to a nice balance now. I do have a high-end video card on this machine. I do need a new motherboard and processor because I can't upgrade to 64. My computer hardware is so old it doesn't support Windows 11, and Windows 10 is about ready to go bye-bye.
Yeah.
And so I've been talking about finally getting a new motherboard, processor, and some RAM so that Carrie can live stream her gaming, which is something she wants to do, and then obviously it would help with my video editing. But yeah, I'm at that point. But no, it's like... this is back in 2000. It's like, I'm making $12 an hour. The $80 for the game is bad enough, but now I got to buy. And then after I spend all that money, now I'm, okay, W to walk forward, A to walk left. Doing the keyboard and mouse shit. It's like...
Yeah, I was never a
you
fan
can
of
get
that.
a PlayStation. Yeah, you had to self-map it. I will say now you can plug an Xbox controller right in a Windows machine, and it automatically maps everything. Like, you do that on Grand Theft Auto, and it's just like playing on Xbox. It automatically maps it.
I don't even have batteries inside this thing. All I need is a USB A to C and plug it in, and it auto maps. Steam auto maps it, and I play. I don't play
The other reason
video
I
games
don't
that much,
like
but
gaming, console gaming, and not console, but PC gaming, just too many fucking cheaters. Too many people running fucking spam bots, aim bots. I've seen videos where someone will mess up and live stream the fact that they have that little cheat code on there that puts red silhouettes across people even though you can't see them on the map yet.
Yeah.
It's like I wish that consoles never went cross-platform. You want to play Xbox versus PlayStation, that's fine, but I do not want to play my Xbox versus somebody on a PC because they have too many. They can run all the programs in the world they want, not only to run bots, but they can fucking hack into your network behind you. That's how people end up swatting people. They're doing all that shit in the background to figure out their IPs, where they're at, yada yada yada.
Yeah, but you also have a lot of anti-cheating software and stuff like that that's automatically built into your gaming software. Like I know with Steam in particular, I think I forget what the hell it's called, but it's like an anti-cheating software that automatically downloads and automatically fires up when you turn the game on.
Yeah, but
I know you can bypass it.
Well, and you know how you bypass it? You know how the bypass happens?
How's that?
Disenfranchised, underpaid employees leave Steam or Bungie or wherever. It says, here's the code that we do this. Here's the workaround.
Right.
It's just like, I don't know. So I know when I get to my gaming machine, I probably still won't play the multiplayer shit because I don't feel like dicking around with fucking dudes hacking and cheating. And I know they're trying to cut it down.
Well, and I think it depends on the game too, because I've been playing this one particular game. I played it for a couple of weeks and I kind of stopped for
Leisure Suit Larry in the Land of the Lounge Lizards?
No, it's called Once Human. And you don't really run into too many people because it's not a super popular game, but it is kind of on the rise.
Mm-hmm.
But something like that, doesn't really, I don't think it gets modded, and hacked very often because it's not that popular. Obviously, if you're going to go out there and play fucking Call of Duty on a PC,
DayZ,
you might as well not even fire it up.
Yep.
Because there's going to be so many people in there that are, I mean, that was honestly why my buddy Ron had stopped playing it on Xbox, and kind of why I stopped playing it on Xbox too and went to the mobile version, was because you can't really cheat on the mobile version, at least not very well yet. And you can still play with a controller and stuff like that on mobile too. So, but yeah, I mean, console gaming and stuff like that, especially like online multiplayer games and whatnot. Yeah, it's definitely getting pretty shitty with all the modding and cheating and shit.
Well, boys, it was a good run on TikTok. They're allegedly shutting the shit down on January 19th.
Oh, boy.
I did see a good TikTok raising a good question. January 19th, huh? On an app that we use to communicate. What could possibly be happening on January 20th that we wouldn't want people to communicate? But, so I started reposting some of my best of videos, and I had a pretty good run on TikTok last week. As we know, my deep fried turkey video got up to 131,000 some odd views. I reposted the Cape Coral cock block video, which is blowing up on Instagram Reels. Got 209,000 views on TikTok. I reposted my calling my Tundra Bugatti when the news are calling bull pump shotguns AR-15s. That got 276,000 views. I was riding high. I was on the gravy train with biscuit wheels until I rode too close to the sun. Got my pee-pee smacked. I reposted the video of the chick in a high heel saying, I know the sound that all men love, and it's supposed to be high heels on the hardwood floor. And then some guy said wrong, and then he plays video clips from video games of the M1 Garand ejecting M blocks. Yeah. And then I had the audacity, shout out to my boy Mark Haney, the unmitigated gall to show a real life M1 where I eject the fucking M block. Got PP smack, got another community guideline violation, got a warning put on my account, and now I'm back in the 220 view realm.
Yeah,
all my views went every video I posted since then. Yep, got put back on community guideline violation probation. So
nice,
all right where you need to be.
So I balanced out everything until they shut it down. But yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I don't care.
It's a good run.
Yeah. It was fun while it lasted. It's not like I'm
used to be
I
music.ly before
thought
it rebranded to TikTok.
I thought it was originally what's that music? Musically or whatever.
Yeah, music.ly.
Yeah, Musically. Yeah, that's what it was.
There was a dot in between the C and the LY. That's why I call it music.ly.
Oh, gotcha.
Musical.ly.
Say melancholy and the infinite sorrow.
It's no different than Vine though. Vine ran its course for a couple of years. It died, and then,
Well, it was interesting because TikTok, the only reason it blew up is because this old fucks got on there and actually turned it around. Because I remember when they used to advertise on YouTube, and like, what the fuck is this? And the only reason I got on TikTok was to see what the hell my kid was doing in 2020, just like every other parent. And we, people started making comedy bits and actually doing things different than the way they were branding it. And that's when it blew up. And then the kids kind of lost interest because their parents were on it. But yeah, I mean, it's, everybody says, oh, it's a kids app. Not really. Oh, by the way, as I said, I post on Instagram every once in a while, right? So I started posting my TikToks on Instagram.
Yeah.
Congress can say whatever the fuck they want about TikTok. We all know it's a money grab. We all understand the truth that they can't buy stock in it. They all own millions of dollars of stock in Facebook, and Facebook stock plummeted because of TikTok. Ask Dan Crenshaw. He'll tell you all about it. What, you don't think we should be able to invest? We need to make money too. But so I would load a video on my Instagram Reels. And once again, I don't use Instagram Reels, so we can't say it's my algorithm. And you can't say, well, it's based off the algorithm of Instagram. No, because my Instagram algorithm is fucking Boston Terriers and World War II content. And fishing. That's all it's on there. Every other Instagram Reel is somebody getting physically fucked up or a half-naked chick. I'm like waiting for my shit to upload. Here's a guy like getting hit by a car. There's another guy like pulling a rope on a bike and fucking eating shit. I mean, it's literally like watching Faces of Death and Cinemax porn. And it's like, holy shit, this is way worse than fucking TikTok. And then I love, because, Meta's trying to make money while the getting's good. These assholes. Good thing Americans have short attention spans and short memories. These fucking cocksuckers. Have you seen this video where Instagram, of all people, are patting themselves on the back, acting like they just launched yesterday, and they're this new parental-friendly fucking app that now we offer teen accounts. Now your kid's a minor, you have teen accounts. Well, why didn't you fuckers do this 20 years ago? You guys are personally responsible for half the fucking girls turning into, making child porn and sex trafficking next to goddamn, the dark web. Instagram is huge for girls getting fucking called upon. And now you guys want to pat yourselves on the back like, hey, we invented minor-friendly accounts. Where the fuck were you guys 10 years ago? When all these stories come out talking about how young girls are having mental problems and suicide because they can't meet and, in their minds achieve the level of these fake fucking frosted goddamn filtered bullshit videos and photos from all these influencers. Now you guys are acting like you're fucking high on your horse and better than now because, we offer kid friendly. Fuck you. You could have done this shit years ago. And that goes for you too, Xbox and PlayStation. There's no reason to put a 35-year-old guy in a gaming lobby with a fucking 12-year-old. Yeah. You guys are responsible for the pedophilia going on in this country too. Well, if we don't put minors on the same servers as 18-year-olds, they'll just create fake accounts. Good, they're easier to track down that way. Hey, Steve, you're 55. Why do you have a fucking profile acting to be 12? Because you're a fucking pedo. Come over here. There's no reason for it. You can't say, well, I like to play with kids because they're easier to beat. No, the kids will kick your ass in fucking video games. So you can't go that route either. Why do adults need to be on the same server with fucking kids? When Carrie and I were gamers daily, what we called a squeaker, when a squeaker came in the lobby, after we finished that game, if he didn't fucking log off, we backed out and found a whole new lobby because we just found him annoying. Forget the fact that we didn't want to be around minors. We just didn't want to fucking listen to them. Yeah. Either that or we'd mute them.
Absolutely.
This pedo shit is through the fucking roof. It is through the roof, and most of it, I think Newsweek wrote an article, Roblox, pedophile heaven. Like Roblox, there's so many fake Roblox servers out there where the pedos are fucking trying to, what do they call that? Condition or there's a catchphrase. Groom kids.
Grooming, yeah.
And, here's Instagram. Hey, we find it. Yeah, you're 10 years too late, dickheads, but nice try. I'm happy you did it, but knock it off with the branding and pretend like, you fucking care. It's just ridiculous.
Like you did something great all of a sudden.
Once again, there's no Xbox. It should be, hey, you're 18 and under, you don't hang out. If I want to play with my kid, fine. Add your kid to your fucking profile. But guess what? You guys can't talk to nobody else during that fucking game. You know what I mean?
See, here's the other issue is parents. You have parents out there that don't give a fuck. You have parents out there that when they're raising their kids, they allow them at 10, 11, 12, 13 years old to have Facebook and Instagram and be talking shit saying, fuck you motherfucker and this, that, and the other on Xbox Live. Oh, you just got raped and, I teabagged you and, suck my dick and blah, 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 blah. And it's like,
that's perfectly acceptable if you're fucking 17 and older. But when you're 12 and 13, knock that shit off. And then what happens?
Exactly.
The parents do step in, say something, and they get a fucking controller wung at their head or fucking knocked to the ground because, we don't have to listen to our parents anymore. We do what we want.
Fuck that.
And then it's like,
my son fucking knows better than that shit.
It's just fucking crazy. But yeah,
I don't play those games because I don't give a fuck. If that means that if my parenting, the way that I parent, keeps my son out of trouble, or kids in general, keeps them out of trouble and steers them on the right path, I'll go to jail for that. I don't give a fuck. I'll slap you right upside the head. Call the cops. I don't give a fuck.
Speaking of cops and getting out of trouble, Jay-Z accused in civil lawsuit for raping 13-year-old girl in 2000 along with Puff Diddy.
Is that a real headline?
NBC News.
It is a very real headline.
But here's the rub.
I heard rumor of it, but I wasn't
here's
sure
the rub, no pun intended.
If it was true.
I told this to Carrie, and her first question is, why is it a civil case? Why isn't it a criminal case?
Yeah.
Well, let's get to that. Jay-Z wants to do the same thing. Jay-Z's response, because I'm not going to read this whole story. Quote, this is from Jay-Z. These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? Carter said in a statement to NBC. That's his real name. These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case. So basically, Jay-Z's saying, hey, and turns out this case is going to civil court because the dude is filing anonymously.
Yeah.
And civil cases are nothing but money. So his lawyers are claiming it's a money grab. The other guy's lawyer saying he don't want to be embarrassed. But like someone pointed out on Adam Carolla's show, dude was 13 in 2000. He's like 33 now. Okay, you're a grown-ass man.
Well, and the other thing, too, is the burden of proof in civil court is way less than it is in criminal court. So, of course, he's going to want to go to criminal court because, the burden of proof is way higher. And then there's double jeopardy. You can't be tried for, the same crime twice.
But I don't think double jeopardy applies because obviously OJ was found innocent in criminal court, and then they were taken to civil court, and he was found guilty
criminally for the same crime.
Correct.
Twice,
so usually the steps to success is you go to criminal first, because despite what they say about juries being fucking non-swayed, by going to the criminal case, especially something this big, you're laying the foundation, and then the civil court says, okay, we're gonna try a second swing of this and cover the ground we fucked up the first time. And so I would think that you would have a more successful chance at winning the civil case if you already did the criminal case and got the word out there. And so whether it's true or not, I don't know. If it is true, fuck him too. And if it is true, it'd be interesting to see if Beyonce sticks by his side. But yeah, that is a good strategy to come out and say, hey, if this is true, then you really should take me to criminal court because I should go to prison for that if it's something I did. So that's an interesting defensive strategy if he was, in fact, guilty of doing that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's like really bold. That's like some Johnny Cochran shit right there.
Well, he's either trying to pull the old reverse psychology, or he is actually innocent. And he's like, fucking try me because I didn't fucking do shit. So.
Did you guys see our ambiguously gay "What's in Your Head" podcast thumbnail for the video I put up?
Yes, I just saw it a little while ago. That's the greatest thing ever.
What's even greater is I took my description of the podcast, copied and pasted it directly into ChatGPT and said, make a video thumbnail based on this description, and that's what it produced.
I haven't seen it yet.
You ain't seen it?
I'll have to check that out.
So basically, let me just, and we'll post it on the website when I do this video. Let me pull up YouTube so I can give you guys because basically what I did is I took our video from last week and I made a 20-minute YouTube video out of it. Instead of posting the entire podcast, we did 20 minutes, and then at the end it says, hey, go listen to the idea is to get some of our YouTube traffic to head over here. And so here's the description. Do you see the icon? It's on our Facebook page. So just go to our Facebook page, you'll see it.
Well, I'm sending it to the text anyway.
So here's the description that I put into ChatGPT that generated this ambiguously gay fucking because it's got the rainbow flag, a lot of it has rainbows, a lot of bright colors. It has floating AR-15s. So here's the description. It says, Don kicks off the show diving into the story about the CEO shooter in New York, questioning if the police might be chasing the wrong guy based on photos. Mike pokes fun at Don and Morgan for being so old, sparking a lively discussion about the surprisingly young ages of actors during their iconic TV series and movies, and how they always seem older. That is what generated that photo. So I guess the guy laughing in the middle is supposed to be Mike, laughing at us for being old. Obviously, the AR-15 has to do with the CEO shooter. And then you have the David Hasselhoff looking guy in the TV, I guess representing how old they are. But yeah, I don't know what ChatGPT was thinking with the super happy guy like waving the gun in the air, doing like it almost looks like he's doing a chorus, like he's belting out a line in a fucking Broadway show, like it's Cops the musical.
Springtime for Hitler.
And then it has the books with the years on it because in the long format I was talking about how we were talking about the word of the year. But yeah, that's the description that. Actually, no, that's the description that ChatGPT did on the full description for the website. I just used it for the video. But yeah, that's where that came from.
That's great.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about getting
that's what we deserve.
I don't have to worry about getting another $1,400 fucking you use my photograph letter in the mail.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So you guys have anything on your list of shit to cover before we wrap things up? 124 minutes into it.
Yeah, I got a quick one.
Wow.
This weekend's going to be the best football game of the year. For, I don't know, college ball.
For collage?
Yeah, I'm not an NFL guy, so. But this
yeah,
Saturday
you don't like to
the
support
Army
those
Navy
rich
game.
assholes.
He's cultured.
But yeah, so go Army, beat Navy. You know, in case you couldn't tell. Yeah.
Woo.
Couple of soldiers in here anyway.
Not to bring it around to World War II, but they're putting a Bastogne patch on their jersey this year.
Yeah.
Because it's the anniversary.
The uniforms for both teams are just stunning. I mean, there's no better way to put it. I mean, they're just absolutely amazing.
Speaking of ambiguously gay, I think that's probably the gayest description I've ever heard of a football. It was stunning.
It's stunning.
It's absolutely stunning.
It's fabulous.
Stop it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so,
I went to a were you done?
No, go for it.
When I was in AIT in Missouri, we went to a minor league game for Springfield, Missouri, which were also called the Springfield Cardinals. So kind of like St. Louis. And they're the minor league team, and it was Military Appreciation Night that night. And we signed up. It didn't cost us anything. They told us, if you guys want to go, we're going to load you up on a bus and we're going to ride out there. And we rode out there. We got to meet a lot of the team. We got to go. We actually went out on the field, lined up, stood at attention, and when the Star Spangled Banner was going, we were, at saluting the flag and all that stuff and doing the appreciation and all that shit. So, but what was cool was their uniforms, because when I was in, it was digital camo ACUs, and their uniforms that night for the appreciation night, they had digital camo in white and like a maroon for, cardinal color, which I thought was pretty cool. It was all ACU digital camo.
That is
pattern,
awesome.
So
Everblades would do
and
that.
they had them for sale. They were like $250 per jersey, and I really wanted one, but that wasn't happening. So
Yeah, the Everblades would
the
do.
Army doesn't pay you very well.
The Everblades would do really cool
No.
digi camo hockey jerseys.
The what?
The Everblades would do custom digi camo hockey jerseys on Veterans Night.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they'd have Veterans Night, and they would do like game worn camo jerseys, and then they would autograph and then do a silent auction the following game.
Isn't this like the third or fourth year in a row that they've won the Kelly Cup?
Yeah, and the reason it's such a insane proposition is hockey, unlike other sports, have like mid-season trade. And
Yeah.
so what usually happens, like, because I used to go to Everblades a lot when I worked at the radio station, because it was like I could either throw these fucking tickets in the trash or go. Did I ever tell you guys my greatest seat moment? Like straight out of Seinfeld, the greatest civilian interaction with a drunk at a arena to ever happen.
No.
This is straight out of fucking Seinfeld, the greatest thing ever. So we would give away tickets to Stan Haney. And the thing was, hey, show up to the Everblades, show up to the radio station before 5 o'clock to get your prize. Long story short, they had Tuesday night games and Friday night games. So we'd give away tickets to the week. Tuesday night rolled around, doors closed. I got a stack of tickets. Most people throw them in the trash. The fucking arena is right across the street. I liked hockey, so a lot of times I would just take them, and Carrie would meet me there, or my dad and stepmom would meet me in the parking lot, or I'd give random tickets out. But it happened so much that Carrie got tired of going to hockey games.
Yeah.
And so my buddy John, who was a Flyers fan, which is interesting because I'm a Penguins fan, so we'd show up looking like the fucking odd couple, and I'd have my Penguins jersey on, he'd have his Flyers jersey on, we're sitting
Go
together.
fucking Penguins.
And so it was one night I had a stack of fucking tickets. And we get there, me and John are drinking, and these are K-Rock tickets, so they're always behind the goal. They're never on the sidelines, right? Because those are the premium seats. So they're usually like 5-6 rows up behind the goal. So me and John are sitting there, and we come back after the first period, and there's like 4 people sitting behind me. And one of them's drunker than shit. Now, me and John, we like to get into it, and every time you score a fight, we'd stand up and cheer. We'd fucking razz the goalie, do the, hey, Henry, you suck, and all that stuff. And this particular night, we were getting a lot of points, and we're standing up and cheering. This guy behind me, wish you guys would sit down. Motherfucker, I can't fucking see. Wish you guys would sit down. And I ignored it. Wish you guys would sit down. Period keeps going. He's getting drunker, making more and more comments. His friend's like, shut up. They're embarrassed. And he finally says it. He fucks up. I don't even know where these guys came from. I bet those aren't even their seats. I turn around, reached in my pocket. I said, this is my seat. This is my seat. That's my seat. I said, this is my entire fucking row. and I turned around because I look like a fucking those scalper. I peacock fan an entire row of tickets. It's like I own this whole fucking row. And they got up and slinked off. It was the greatest fuck you moment in sports history. I was like, I own this whole row. Shut the fuck up.
That's the best when you can get somebody to shut their fucking mouth.
Yeah, they just slinked off. I bet those aren't even their seats. Because, they came late to the game. We came back 4 minutes late in the second period. So they just, I guess, suspected that we just snuck in because we had shittier, because these are such stellar seats. But yeah.
Outstanding.
Before we go, one more ambiguously gay topic, because that's the way the show's going.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that TikTok I retweeted? The lady's
A
like,
TikTok, you retweet it?
yeah, I retweeted because I use old vernacular. A TikTok that I shared. It was this lady. She's
So I
like,
put it on the my space page.
yeah.
Yeah.
I put on my
let's bring
Yahoo
back the
GeoCity.
Friendster.
I put on my Yahoo GeoCities, my MSN communities.
Ooh. AOL Instant
This
Messenger.
lady's like, this is a female cardinal. And it was a brown bird with highlights of red. She's like, this is a male cardinal, which is red. He's like, for all you homophobic Christians out there, your Christmas decoration. And then she shows the globe with the two male fucking cardinals. She's like, hella gay. And you think about like,
Is
yeah,
that
all
gonna
the
be new
Christmas
tagline
cardinal,
for our
all the
podcast?
Christmas cardinal decorations are two male cardinals.
Oh my
I
gosh.
just thought that was
that's
fantastic.
funny.
Gay. But that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the What's in Your Head podcast. Thank you guys so much. We're going on 6 years in this shit. And Mike, by the way, I was looking. You've been part of the show for a good long time now too. So congratulations to you on this. I think technically you may have been on here longer than Gordon was. You definitely surpassed Dave.
I think everybody
lasted
surpassed
what,
Dave.
20 minutes?
Somewhere I have, deep in the depths of this computer, I'll have to find it. Episode 1 of the Waterman Show, where he's standing here drunk off his ass, trying to play a guitar into a microphone. It was so bad. I said, Dave, come back next week and we'll try again. I have that jewel in here somewhere. Yeah.
That's funny.
I remember those early ones. That was pretty rough.
See, Morgan's actually been a fan a lot longer than I have of the podcast and whatnot. I mean, I had heard of you on, K-Rock, so, and then we just Instagram message about fishing, and it kind of blew up from there. But
the Waterman Show was rough.
I wasn't around for any of the D-Train and Waterman Show. None of those episodes. I'd have to go back and watch.
Hold on, let me just
previously.
Digital 410. No, I only have 5 fucking hard drives here. Podcast.
I do remember some emails that I used to send in, because when I worked at Snap-on in North Carolina, I used to either listen on the K-Rock app. I don't even know if they had that back then. It might have been iHeart or something. But I'd listen on the app, and I would email in, because I worked 2 to 6, and my lunch was at 6 o'clock. So the whole first half of my shift was listening to Stan and Haney, and I was always the one that emailed in about my crazy cousin that worked there back in the 90s, who had all the fucking German Shepherds and tattoos and shit.
I remember that. I'll have to see if I can find those. The very first episode. Yeah. It's on there somewhere. I'll have to find it.
I'll never forget Haney's response to, after Stan read that letter, Haney just goes, "It's a cousin or something like that," and he just goes, "Oh, poor kid." I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Because I used to cut all her promos and stuff when I was like fucking 7 years old. I'd call into the radio station and she'd cut a promo with me talking about, go listen to I used to call her my aunt, but she was actually my cousin because she was so much older than me.
I don't think this is it.
Yeah, back in the 90s, you heard my voice going across the radio on the nights when commercials would go on for her promos and stuff like that. So,
yeah, I'll have to try to find the first episode of the Waterman Show. I don't even know where the hell it's at. I thought I'd have it easily.
That's also funny, too, because my wife's mother used to do HR or payroll or something like that for them back in the day.
Yeah. But anyhow, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the What's in Your Head podcast, Consistently Inconsistent. Thank you guys so much. And if you haven't done so yet, please head over to youtube.com, look for D410 Media, and go sign up on our Patreon page. Go to patreon.com, look for Digital 410. That goes a long way to pay the bills around here. My web host keeps coming at me because I maintain a cool 89% usage rate on my server because they want me to upgrade to the $109 a month fucking internet pack
This has been a Digital 410 production.